In this video, I'm going to be exploring AI agents. So simply, AI agents are giving LLMs the power to take control, do actions for you. You're automating jobs using LLMs. That is the main point of AI agents. Now, people like Andrew Ng and many other big AI figures are really bullish on this idea, giving LLMs to make decisions and take control and do actions for you. So you can just sit back, relax, and make the LLM do your dirty work and what they are. Now, if you're new to AI agents, then you're probably in the right video. I'm going to talk about what it is and why it's useful. We can look into what we have seen so far, the recent developments of AI agents, and why it's better than Chat GPT. We're going to look into some code on how to actually code an AI agent. And believe me, it's actually quite simple. We are going to be using an LLM. Now I'm going to show both a open source LLM and an OpenAI GPT-4. So you can use either one of those. After that, we're going to look into different frameworks. What other frameworks are there aside from Crew AI? And then we're going to look into some use cases on how this could be useful for you. We're going to discuss about some use cases like simple AI agent workflows, agentic RAG if you're into that, and some other examples. By the way, I make similar videos like these on LLMs, machine learning, and other data science tools, so please feel free to subscribe. Now, let's get started. Now, if you guys have tried ChatGPT Premium or Plus, it has the ability to search the internet. So you can ask a question like find what AI agent is, and it can do a quick internet search. And what it's essentially doing is connecting the GPT-4 to the internet, which is a tool in this instance, to give a very nice output with the correct sources and a pretty accurate information. Now, this is an essence of what AI agents actually are. You have an LLM that is connected to a tool, in this case, the internet, and is giving you or fetching data to give you a final answer. Now, what if we duplicate this idea into two different AI agents? So for example, you have one GPT-4 calling the internet, getting some answer, another GPT-4 that is run parallelly or sequentially to get information from a CSV file. Now let's take this idea and take it one step further. So you have one to get information from the internet, another one get information from the CSV, and another one that is of your choice. This can be a tool that you custom built. This can be MySQL database, or this can be something like, oh, take this image and modify it in certain ways. That is completely up to you. This is your tool. And finally, what you can do is you can get all this information from here and get a final output with combined sources. Essentially, what you're allowing it to do is have different agents collaborate together to achieve a common goal. They have different sub goals, of course, but then you get a common goal and a common output. And that's the power of agents. Now, an AI agent is an autonomous entity designed to perform tasks, make decisions, and communicate with other agents to achieve specific goals. That's my definition of what AI agent is. Now, what is the difference between ChatGPT and agents? So ChatGPT can search the internet, and so can agents. You can do many other things. ChatGPT is allowed to a limited number of tools, although you can have custom ChatGPT, but it is still quite limited. But agents, on the other hand, can use almost any tools that you define. You can make a tool to do a certain task that can be on a system level, like, hey, do something with a file in my computer, or many other use cases. So really, imagination is a limit. ChatGPT is essentially a single agent, whereas an agent like Crew AI, which I'm going to discuss very soon, can have multiple agents that can work parallelly to solve a specific problem. Now, ChatGPT doesn't have any sequential task execution. AI agents, on the other hand, you can do both sequentially and parallelly to execute a problem that you want to get solved. Now, let's see how we can actually implement AI agents with a nice and simple package called Crew AI. Now, how do we actually go about building a agent? The first thing I have to do is download the packages that I've listed over here. First, you have to install the Crew AI package, and then you download and install Ollama in your computer. And then in terminal, after download Ollama, you have to run Llama 3. We're going to use Llama 3 over here, but you can use any open source model of your liking. Now, what is Ollama for people who don't know? Ollama is a terminal package that allows you to download the latest models with relative ease, with no pain, essentially. All you really have to do, go to terminal, and then you paste a command from here, like this. Just run Ollama run Llama 3, and it downloads it, installs it on your computer, and you're up and running. Now, let's get back into the code. First thing we have to do is load model and API key, create agents and give them tasks, and then let the crew work. So it's a 3-step process. Again, very, very simple, nothing really complicated. So first thing we have to do is load our model. So I have defined an environment file over here where I have a Serper API key, and you should also assign an OpenAI API key. Now, when it comes to the OpenAI API key, I'm going to express more about that. So first thing that we will do is we're going to assign a localhost to our OpenAI API base. This is because we are going to use a Ollama model. So this is the Ollama endpoint that is serving in my local computer. Of course, you can use any OpenAI fine-tuned model of your liking if you really want to. And then we're going to use Llama 3 as our preferred model over here. And for the OpenAI API key, we're going to keep it NA. Of course, if you're not using an open source model, you can still use the OpenAI model. All you guys really have to do is just pass in an API key and you're good to go. Just uncomment these two. And now we are going to load our Serper API key that I've stored in my environment variable over here. Now, after we've defined our Serper dev tool, now we can finally create our agents and assign them tasks. So before we start actually implementing in code, let's see what the agents and tasks is all about. So you have a crew, you have 2 agents, you have a research agent, and a writer agent. And even though we're calling an agent, they're essentially LLMs that are assigned specific tasks. They have a specific prompt or prompt setting that do a specific thing, and they're also assigned a tool. Now we're going to implement it. Let's implement the research agent and a writer agent. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a research agent. And by the way, we're making agents that will allow us to summarize a topic that we want to know about. So we can have this named as a simple researcher. So assign a role, we have a goal for it, verbose 2, and also have tools, search tool. And we will also have a backstory. Here we have defined that it is a dedicated researcher with a passion for discovering and some other blah, blah, blah. Now we've defined our research agent. Now, how do we assign a task to it? What does it actually do? Now, this is how we do it. So you have a task, and in there you have to define a description. After that, we have to say to give out a specific output. We can also give it the tool and also assign the research agent that we created over here. So an agent and a task. Now, if we come back to the picture, essentially this arrow is representing the task over here that will help us achieve this final report at the end. Now, let's create our writer agent. After the researcher agent has gone through the internet and found the relevant information, the writer agent will take this information, synthesize it, and actually give us the final output. So let's define that. So again, very, very similarly, we have an agent with a role writer, with a goal, verbose true, and a backstory. And then we're going to give it a task over here. We have a description, an expected output, an agent assigned we have created over here. And we do not assign it any tools over here because it doesn't really need to get a tool to write something. So now we compile it. Now all we really have to do is we have to make our crew. And to do that, we can write crew. We assign to a variable, simple crew. We have an agent, so we essentially lift the agents that we've created. And in the same order, we can assign the tasks. And we can define the process is sequential. This will sequentially execute different agents. After we've done that, all we really have to do is do simple.crew or simplecrew.kickoff, which means we're going to kickstart the entire process. And we're going to pass in an input where the topic is what are AI agents? We want to know what AI agents are. So let's run it. This can take some time based upon how fast your computer is. After all, I am using an Ollama model locally, so this should actually take some time. But if you're using OpenAI or other models that are hosted, this should go pretty quickly. Now over here, it's executing and it's finding the different links that we need for a final report. Okay, and there we have the results after running the Crew AI agent. Now, I do want to mention that I had a few problems while running this package. Was probably because I had a timeout of 3600. I believe this is seconds. So after that, it kind of crashed and actually didn't fulfill the work. So I just want to have some brief opinions on packages like Crew AI and AI agents. Now, AI agents, I'm quite optimistic about the technology. I think it's going to be a great addition to the LLM niche and workspace. However, specifically the Crew AI packages like these, like super simple, although they can be great learning tools to get into the whole AI agent space, but I would not recommend deploying it into production. So there we have it. Okay, so we just saw how to make a very simple AI agents using Crew AI. Now, aside from Crew AI, there are some different frameworks you can also use that are available in the market right now. Some of them are, first of all, Crew AI, but also LangGraph and Llama Index. LangChain actually supports or actually made LangGraph, which means some of the tools that LangChain has is also backward compatible to LangGraph, which is a really good news if you're used to LangChain. And Llama Index also has AI agents capabilities as well, so you may want to check it out. And also there's another one called Autogen. This is a package that is maintained by Microsoft, and to be quite honest with you, I haven't really worked with it myself, but I've heard really good stuff about it. But if you are new and don't really have experience with these frameworks over here, like LangChain and Llama Index, then you should probably use Crew AI, something that's quite simple and helps you get started really quickly. But yes, now there's a lot of things they can do with AI agents. And now I want to show you guys some of the examples that are available. And hopefully it gives you some inspiration, some ideas on how you can use it in your own workflows. Now we just saw a simple AI agent workflow that implemented using Crew AI. And there are some agentic RAG stuff that you can also do. So for example, this is a documentation from Crew AI. So you can have different tools that can be used with different agents. So if we go into the Google or tool docs, we can actually see different types of tools you can use for your agents. Some of them, for example, could be directory read, so you can read directories. You can do PDF RAG search, so you can hook up an agent with a PDF, so you can search through it. You can do the same for text, CSV, XML. You can even do JSON RAG as well. So let's say you have an application that throws out a JSON output. You can use this one to hook up to an agent to parse that and make information out of different agents. Now, these are just some examples of tools. On top of that, there are some other examples. So this is some Crew AI examples by the author of Crew AI. So here they have made a repository for Instagram post, job posting. So how to create a job posting using Crew AI agents. You can make a landing page generator, markdown validator, preparation for a meeting, some starter templates, stock analysis if you're really into the finance stuff. So a lot of different stuff you can also do. All right, there you guys have it. That is AI agents, all the way from what it is, how it works in the most foundational way. We are shown some code on how to implement Crew AI in the most simplest way possible. We've showed different frameworks you could potentially use and some really quick use cases. All right, so that is what AI agents are in its simplest form. I hope you guys found it insightful. If you guys did, please feel free to subscribe. I make similar videos like these. All right, guys, have a nice day.